Well, hello everyone, and my name is Tammy, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to get ready. I'm going out to dinner with my husband, and I just washed my hair, so it's a little crazy right now. I'm letting the curls dry. I blow dried it a little bit, and then I kind of let it air dry a little bit. So I'm going to just pull this back here. I'm going to do a very simple makeup tonight. Nothing fancy. The eyes aren't going to be fancy. Nothing is going to be fancy. I'm going to start out with my Seint makeup. I've been using this makeup for probably almost 5 years now, and I really like it. I have my little compact here. It's a new one actually that I just got. I absolutely love it. And I've got everything in here that I need to get ready. All the colors that I like. Let me just show you real quick. These are all my colors that I like. These are all different shades of what we would call foundation. These are the different shades. I usually use these two right here. Over here are my lipsticks that I like. These three. This is my contour that I use, and I'll show you how I do that. And then these three right here are called correctors. And I may use that tonight, not positive. And then this is for my lid. I like to put a little bit of a cream. And then on the other side, we have a couple of more. These are called illuminators. I love that, as you can see. And this is a gold illuminator. And I may use them, not sure. It's going to be a simple makeup. And this is my bronzer that I use, which is very universal. And then this is my contour that I use for my nose. You know, as we get older, our nose gets bigger. The aging process, right? And then these are my go-to colors. And so I've got it all in one place. All right, so the first thing I want to do is my face is already prepped. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a highlighter, and let me see. And I'm going to use my, I'm probably going to go ahead and use this color here. Probably going to use this color, and I just need a little bit. So I just put a little bit in there, and then I'm going to just tap it on my lids. Today is a beautiful day in upstate New York. Finally, it has rained most of April and May, and June doesn't look too bad, at least so far. So we're happy about that. This is just my base that I put on because as we get older, our lids get kind of veiny looking, and so I like to add that on there. And then I'm going to take this color, which I'm not really sure what it is. I want to say it's pup, but I'm not positive. And I'm going to just all on the lid area, just to kind of give it a base. And on this side. Okay, there we go. And then I think I'm going to go with just a nice, easy brown, probably that color. I don't even know what color that is. Oh, I'll put it in the descriptions, okay? I'll put it in there if you want to know. And then I take it, I like this little, it's called a makeup remover. It's a dry sponge. I don't know if you've ever seen it. And so when you want to switch colors, you just kind of take your brush and you swirl it in that. I like to tap off the excess. Oh, I didn't turn my makeup light on. Let me do that. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. All right. And then I'm going to go here. I really like this makeup. To me, it's a very easy process. Of course, it's going to take a little bit longer, you know, because I'm talking and, you know, doing this video. But normally, I can put my makeup on within 10 minutes if it's a very simple. Normally, when I get ready for church, I like to take my time. And sometimes I'll put on false lashes. And sometimes I just put on mascara. Today we're going to just do mascara. But we're just going down to a local bar / restaurant. Our daughter, she's a waitress there, waitress / bartender. And it's right down the road. It's a nice place. They have great food. And so we're going to go there, visit her. We're not sure how much longer she's going to be there because she's expecting her first child in July. And so it's our first grandchild. So I'm a new grandma. And it's kind of, I have to say, it's a little different. I didn't think that I was going to be a grandmother. I have 2 children, or 2 grown children. It's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? And my son isn't married, and he doesn't have a significant other. So I just never thought that we would be grandparents. So I didn't see that in the future for our daughter, but we're excited. It's a boy, so we're excited. Now I'm going to be using a new mascara, and it is by Luma, and it's called Volume Care Plus Mascara. You might have seen it on social media. I like it. I really do. I actually use their serum for the lashes too, and okay, let me back up. I used this the first time, and I thought, it's okay. Well, they had sent me also the serum to, excuse me, to try. Hold on. And so I thought, well, I'll give the growth serum a try. I've used others, and it's kind of it has bothered my eyes, and it did bother my eyes, so I stopped using it. And but I thought I'll give this a try. So I used it, and I was shocked. In about a month, I noticed that I thought, wow, my lashes, they're not so sparse, and they look longer than they used to and everything. And I had been using a different other mascara, which I like. And I thought, you know what, I'll give this one a try again, and wow, what a difference. And I really like this mascara. It's not waterproof, but it's smudge proof, and it's great for mature lashes. It conditions them. See, I like it. I think it's very nice. And what I like to do is I like to kind of just push right at the very edge of my lashes by my waterline, and it kind of gives it more of an accent. Hey, did I get any on my lid? No. Okay. All right, now we're on to the next one. And then, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get lashes stuck that come off into my eyelash curler, and I have to take them out because otherwise they poke me in the lashes, or poke me in the eye. Do you all curl your lashes before you put mascara on them? I never did when I was younger, but I noticed that as I got older, right, my lashes were kind of going this way instead of this way. So I started using an eyelash curler, and I use Shiseido. I find that it works really well for my hooded eyes. I wouldn't say my eyes are almond shaped, but it does work well for my hooded eyes. At least I think it does. Now I'm gonna have to, sorry about that, I'm gonna have to tuck my hair behind my ears. Oh, I got mascara on my fingers. All right. Do you ever notice that one side, oh, look, now I'm gonna let that dry. You see how that happened? Hopefully that once that dries, I can just kind of brush it off. At least that's the trick I learned. So let your mascara dry before you try to tackle it and get it off, whatever area you don't want it on. Do you ever notice that one side of your lashes may be shorter than the other side? You know, they say it's because you sleep on them or whatever. I really try to sleep on my back, honestly. So I like wearing my false lashes, and I can keep them on for 4 or 5 days. It's a lot easier to do your makeup, I think. To me, I think it works a lot easier because you're not, I don't have to do the mascara. So, all right, now what do I want to do next? Oh, face. So now I'm going to take my little two-sided brush and I always go tapping these two, so, and I get my color. Now you don't have to, but that's just how I prefer to do it. And then just pounce it on my face. I really like this cream. It doesn't settle. I like it that it looks natural, and yet it gives your skin that really dewy look, which I like. Now, some women like to put their powder on. That's perfectly fine. I don't wear powder because I like the dewy look. And then you just make sure you press it in. Now, I probably will not use any contour. But I will use my bronzer. I'm going to show you how I do that. Can I do that? Okay, I have the bronzer brush. I like this brush. This is another brush from Seint. And all I do is I swirl like this. And I get just a little bit of color. And then I go down on my neck. I'm not super tanned or anything, but I do like the way it blends. And then I'll just put it underneath my chin. And maybe tap it. Kind of where the sun hits, right? And put that on. Let's see. Oh, and brows. Now I do have my brows microbladed. It's been probably about 3 years since I've done that. It still gives me, a little bit of a definition so that I can see my brows. And then I'm going to take my brow mascara that has a little bit of fibers in it from Antasia. I think it's Antasia. Let me see. Nope. Too Faced. They call it Brow Wig. And I think it is, I want to say taupe. Yep, it's taupe. And I always go in the opposite direction. Press it right in the skin area. And you'll see where I've got a little bit of like a bald spot there. And then I'm going to take one of my favorite by Prometic Cosmetics. It's called Prime Brow, I think Prime Prometic. I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to go underneath very lightly, get into that little bald spot, and then I like to come this direction. It seems to work better for me. I don't know why. It just does. And the same thing on this side. And then I follow it. And I come here and go back down. I just think it feels, to me, it just fills in better. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to take my, well, I don't have, because I just cleaned my brushes and I left most of my brushes over there because I have a lady coming tomorrow who is interested in trying this makeup. And I want to keep the brushes clean. So the one that I normally use underneath my eye, I don't have. So I'm just going to use this one. It'll work. And I just take one of the highlights, the lighter one, and I go underneath my eye just to give me a little bit of a definition, you know, to separate the two. Oh, that might be too much. Well, we're just going to blend that baby in. There we go. And then we're going to take a little bit of the highlight, and you'll notice it's a lot lighter. That's what we call our second highlight, and I'm going to put it right here and here. And then I'm just going to blend it. I like to do it that way because it lifts up your eyeshadow. So it gives the illusion that your eyes are lifted. The illusion. Don't we like that, ladies? The illusion that our eyes are lifted. And I'm not going to put any mascara underneath my eyes tonight. Sometimes I wear mascara under there, sometimes I don't. And I'm not putting any like pencil or anything underneath my eyes. I just want it to be a very natural looking mascara, or makeup, not mascara. Isn't that funny how we want it to look natural, but we put makeup on? All right, let me just blend this in a little bit better. See how that mark came off? All right, now I'm going to take my sponge. We call it a perfector sponge, but you can use any sponge. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to press so I will get any excess makeup off my face. And of course, we all know that, you know, makeup is only as good as the skincare, right? Is only as good as taking care of your skin. So I really try to take care of my skin. And I'm about to try something new, so okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take a little bit of let's see, I'm going to use this, no, I'm going to use my shape brush. This is my shape brush. You can use the same brush for everything. You just want to make sure you wipe it off, but I have multiple brushes being an artist, so I'm going to take, I think I'm going to go with this color. I think that's, I don't know what color that is, and I'm just going to put it right there. I don't want to go too far down my cheek. Oh, I started the wrong area. I like to start here and then move down because that's where most of the excess color comes off, and then you can work it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my contour, which I wasn't going to, but I am going to. I'm going to put just a little bit here. Just to add a little bit of color there. Okay, and I think that's it. Where's my little sponge? There it is. And then I will do my lips. Let's see. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink. I really like, this is a terracotta by Huda Beauty. It's one of my favorites. I have a few favorite lip colors that I like to use. And then I outline my lips. Very lightly. And then I color it in. Like that. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have all this fancy makeup. Right? I don't know about you. And I liked makeup back then. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I wore makeup when I was in high school and stuff. Like blue eyeshadow. Do you remember the blue eyeshadow? I'm going to put a little bit right in here to try to take a little bit. I have just a little bit of a shadow right there. And what I did is I used my color corrector. Okay, perfect. Excuse me. I will say that now that it's warmer out, my nose itches. I don't have bad allergies, but I noticed that it has affected my chest a little bit. So, okay, so now I'm going to put this color on. I don't know what it is. I'll put it in the... And there we go. And I'm all ready. So that didn't take too long. Well, it took about 20 minutes, but normally, if I wasn't talking, normally it wouldn't take as long as it has. And then I'm going to set it with Murphy. I love this setting spray. And then I let it dry. There we go. So if you have any questions, or if you're interested in this makeup, just reach out to me and we can do a color match, which is what I did. And at first, when I first started using it, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like this, but I like it. It's my favorite. Okay, can't really touch the curls yet. They're still a little damp. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. There's that, what they call it. What's that called? Money piece? Is that what they call that? Yep. I used to be a redhead until the pandemic and decided to go gray. It is so freeing, let me tell you. All right. So remember, aging is a fact, but looking your age, it doesn't have to be. You guys have a very blessed day or evening, depending on when you're watching, and I'll see you soon.